Hi everybody, welcome to Thursday night. I have another really lovely Christmas card for you. It's really noisy around here at the moment. I do have a bit of music on. Hopefully that will, I don't know, dampen the noise that's going on outside. Okay, now this card is has a lot going on. So I'm going to jump straight into it. I've got some measurements here. Oh, did I forget? It's me. It's me, Jill. Sometimes I forget. But it's always there. So, yeah. Okay, so I have some US measurements and some metric measurements. Everything will be in the description below. So please don't think you have to hurriedly get a pen or whatever, but yeah, you might want those instructions when you watch this again to make it. It's a very easy card, but it looks very complicated. So I think we'll just get started. Now, I hope I don't jump all over the place because, yeah, we'll see. Anyway, so look, if you haven't already got these templates, they are the US letter size and the A4 metric. You can contact me here at tilly2145@gmail.com. Request these. You will get it in a PDF, one sheet of paper. At the risk of glaring everybody up, that's what you get. I have actually cut these to pieces so that I can see what I'm doing. And when I'm doing US and metric, I need both of these. And so if you're following me and you're in the US, do make sure you download these, because if I say mat 1, you need to find out what mat 1 is in US letter size. But anyway, I digress. That's the first thing I wanted to just talk about there. Okay, so now what I have here is, in my little box of tricks, I have a card base, and it is the standard card base for your country. Now, it's scored and it's been cut, but we are going to do some fancy cutting and scoring on this. So I have left it unfolded at the moment. So what you need to do is to take your card base, and we're going to do some scoring and some cutting. So I'm going to show you that now. Now, what you need to do is turn your card this way so that the shortest edge is up in your paper trimmer. Now, in Australia or metric countries, we are going to line this up at 3 centimeters. 3 centimeters on this side, okay? So we're going to line that up at 3 centimeters, and we are going to cut only from the edge to the score. So you want to put both of your blades up, your scoring blade, because we are going to use that. So only go as far as your fold that is normally down the middle of your card. So we're at 3 centimeters, and we are going to cut down to our score. Okay, now if you have a look on your blade, there is a little notch. Now that shows you where the blade is cutting to. So if you just go steady, and you can see through the paper guide where you need to cut to. Okay, don't worry if you go over, okay, because it's just not worth worrying about. Okay, so I'm going to try and do this. I'm just going to line it up now. I need to tilt this so I can see it. So here's my little line, here's my score. So I'm just going to go that far and no more. Then I'm going to bring it over to 3 centimeters again. Now I will give you the US measurement in just one tick. So just hold your horses, honey. So I've pushed that down. Now I'm actually going to go down to the score and then go back up again, just because that's where the blade was. Okay, so you've got this. Now, if you are in the US and you are using a US size card base, you will want to cut down at 1 inch. Okay, so 1 inch from this side, 1 inch from that side. And we have this funny looking thing. So now I want you to turn this around, and with the cut side, with the cut over here, we're going to go, hang on, we're going to go this side, and I want to go as far as 1 centimetre. Now if you're in the US, you will go to half an inch. In Australia, 1 centimetre. I'm going to line this up. Now I'm scoring. Now if you want to, you can just be very, very careful and just score between that cut line and that cut line. Now if you don't go right up to the cut, don't worry, the paper will follow the score. Okay, so I have it at 1 centimetre or half an inch, and it also has a little mark there that shows you where you are scoring. So I'm just going to go as close as I can without going over. Then I'm going to turn this around, and I'm going to go in metric 5.3 centimetres, 1, 2, 3. If you are in the US, you will do that at 2 inches. So I'm just scoring that, giving that a really nice score. Now, I don't know if you can see that, but I haven't gone right to the edge, but it doesn't matter, because once I start to fold that, the rest of this paper that's unscored will follow it naturally. Okay, so now we have this. This is our card front. We have a panel in the middle, and we have scored that panel at 1 centimetre, and then 5.3 or half an inch, and then 2 inches if you're in the US. These are 3 centimetre cuts or 1 inch in the US. Okay, so at the moment that's all we're doing, and I will show you what we are doing next. So we have our card base. We can now fold this up, give it a really nice burnish. Now make sure that these two edges are lined up with the edges underneath, okay, because that will make a difference, because we're putting a sliding mechanism into this, and yeah, we want that really straight. So then we're going to fold this down. We want that to be beautifully lined up as well, and we're going to fold this one this way. Again, make sure that that score is lined up, and then this one we are going to fold back the other way. Okay, so it's only a very small ½ inch or 1 centimetre. Okay, so we have that now. Now I'm calling this Brilliant Christmas Slider Mantelpiece card. And you know how I know I'm calling it that? Because I wrote it down, because I would forget. By the time I get to the putting all the details in, half the time I've forgotten, and I have to make up a new name. So that's that. We're going to pop that aside now. Okay, we're just popping that aside. Don't panic. We're going to be getting onto it in a minute. So now I've got a few other little bits and pieces here I want to share with you. I want to show you what I have. So I have one panel of the gorgeous Nature's Sweetness. It's a gold foil paper. It's got this matte design on the back, but this side is beautifully foiled. Now I haven't made this using this paper. This could well turn out to be one of those ugly cards, but we'll see. So that is at mat 3. Now, if you're in Australia, mat 3 is 9 by 13.3 centimeters. If you are in the US, mat 3 is 3.5 by 4 3/4. We then need a piece of Lost Lagoon, and this panel is mat 4, and mat 4 in Australia is 8.5 by 12.85 centimeters. In the US, mat 4 is 3.25 by 4.5. Okay, now I haven't made it in the US sizes, but I'm crossing my fingers and hoping that those sizes will fit. If you come across any problems, pop them down in the comments if you remedied it or adjusted it accordingly. So look, it's only a very tiny little border. Now if you wanted to, you could cut something out of the back of this, although we will see the back of it, so probably not. Yeah, scratch that. Okay, so we've got that. It is directional, not that you can tell at this point in time. We also have a scrap of the Lost Lagoon. It doesn't have to be this big. We're going to do some stamping, and we are going to do some die cutting. 2 more pieces. Now these are directional, and in Australia these are 2.5 centimeters by 10 centimeters long. In the US they would be 3/4 of an inch by 4 inches. Okay, now we are going to do a technique. It's rather messy, so you might want to brace yourself for that if you don't like mess, but I think it's going to be a beautiful card. Okay, so I'm going to pop all these things back here. We don't need that. We don't need anything here except our Lost Lagoon panel, which is mat 4. Now we're going to get messy. Okay, so I want you to have a look at this embossing folder. Now I've been using this. I've used this a couple of times, I think. I think it's called Painted Trees. All of the details will be below in the description, except I forgot to write that on there, so I'm going to write that on there now. Painted Trees embossing folder. Okay, so we also need our Night of Navy ink pad. Now I just inked this up, which could have been a mistake, but we're going to find out. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop some scrap paper down, because I just know that this is going to be so messy. So we're going to emboss this. So whatever your sandwich is for a 3D embossing folder, yeah, whatever your sandwich is for your machine, yeah, follow the instructions there, please. Okay, so I want to line this up. Now I want to go, and the best way to show you this is if I do it like this. So I want to have a bit of space over here on this side here, and I want this central tree to go as far up as possible. Hang on, just checking that you're still recording. Color me paranoid, but there you go. Anyway, I'll go back. So you want a bit of space here. We're going to put a little tag there. So yeah, you want to have this tree, the central tree, up as high as you can go, and naturally, I mean, on the embossing folder, this tree is lower, so that's where I thought I'd place that tag. So I'm just going to pop that in there like that. I'm going to emboss that, so just bear with me for 2 seconds. Just talk amongst yourselves and I'll do that. Okay, now that's embossed, and this is the messy part. Okay, so as you can see, I've been playing with this and experimenting, so I'm already covered in it. So it embosses it beautifully. You've got this deeply etched. Oh, I forgot to do it. Hang on. That's why I got that out first. I want to ink this up. I want to ink this up. Oh, my goodness. Start again. Start again. I want to take this and I'm going to... I'll be able to line this up again because it'll fit back in there. Okay, so it's there. And I want to ink the side, the back of the Stampin' Up side. Oh, my gosh. Hang on. I know what's wrong. Oh my goodness, coffee. Just pretend that's blank. Just pretend I haven't done this because now I'm going to have to run it through again, okay? So what I want to do is I want to ink up my embossing folder. So it's going to be the side where the Stampin' Up symbol is, but the back of it, okay? And I want to make sure that, oh my goodness, that is so dark. Okay, this is going to be another one of those truly excellent Jill videos, isn't it? Hang on. Hold your horses, honey. So I'm going to just ink this up. And look, it is messy. You are going to get messy. I can't help that. But if you do it kind of on the edge, you can... Oi. Oi. Now might be a good time to try this thing out. Remember this thing we made the other day? Oh boy. Okay, let's try that. Let's try that. Oh dear. Dear, oh dear. It's going to put less ink on there, so that might be the way to go. If you made one of these, it's just several. It's 4 layers of thin fun foam. And all I've done is sort of put some double-sided adhesive paper on them. Now, it might be a good idea to go this way, then it will look like the sky has streaks in it going this way. So bear with me. Oh, that might be better. That might be better. Look, this is me, warts and all, okay? You know at some point I'm going to stuff something up, so yeah. Okay, that looks really, really dark there. So what I'm going to do is just get some paper towel and I'm just going to blot that up a bit. I don't think the card goes down that far, but we'll see. Okay, that is really, really wet. So we're just going to avoid sticking my finger in that. And I'm going to close that up now because that is so dark. Right, take 2. Now on this side, because I've already embossed this, I can actually put this back in place. See how that just sort of clicked into place? It's not moving now because it's back in where it should be. I'm going to close this, I'm going to cross my fingers and I'm going to emboss this again. So just bear with me. My goodness. Hold your horses, honey. Okay, what not to do is going on the list. Do not ink your ink pads immediately before going to air. Look, I'm going to go with that, okay? That just rinses under the tap, okay? It will just rinse off, so I won't be going and doing that anytime soon. But here we go. We've got this really dark piece. We've got the trees. It's a bit darker than I wanted, but well, you saw the disaster that is one of my videos. So now I'm going to take this, I'm going to glue this onto our gold piece. Oh, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. No, I am not. I am going to mix up some of this beautiful metallic paint. It's just water-based. I think I'll go for this one here that's really quite... yeah, I think I will go for that one. Yeah, it's quite yellow. Paintbrush, water. Oh, my goodness. I thought I was so prepared. I mean, what else is new, hey? I'm just going to pop a couple of drops of water in there. And, yep, get that nice and soupy. This is beautiful little metallic watercolour paint. It was quite cheap. You can pick them up almost anywhere, even in the kids section at your $2 shop. I'm sure they've got it there. Now I'm just going to spatter, like just flick this on with the brush. And it's really quite gold. It's really, really quite metallic, this paint. And what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to turn this around, and I'm going to do it from the opposite direction now, because quite often you get it going the same direction and it kind of forms a pattern, but I want this to be random. So just another little drop of water. And do go off the edge if you can. So this will need a minute to dry. Won't take very long, but you know, like at the rate I've been going tonight, I'm sure I'll probably knock the water over the top of it or something. Right, there we go. Okay, just going to clean my brush, close that. Now all you have to do is just let that dry, and that paint stays in there. It'll dry and you can reconstitute that for another day. So that's my little paint thing. Very, very handy. Just bear with me, guys, while I just clean my brush and pop it back over here. Okay, so let's pop that over there to dry for the minute. Now, what I've done is I've cut this piece out. As I said, this is matte, what? Matte 4. This is matte 3. Now, I have a scrap of the Lost Lagoon. I have these two panels here, and I have two scraps that are about 1 centimetre wide of the Lost Lagoon. Okay, so I'm going to put this together now because I think we're pretty much almost done. I've just got to stamp the sentiment on the scrap piece, which is this one here, and yes, I'm going to be using that extremely juicy Night of Navy. So hold your horses, honey, while I make a mess of this. Okay, so I'm just going to tap this really, really lightly, I hope. Now I'm going to give this a test run, okay? Just going to give that a test run. That looks pretty good. So I'm just going to ink that up again. And I'm going to just checking to see if that's all inked up. I'm just going to pop that like towards the bottom of this because I want to cut a tag out of this piece. So I'm just going to go straight down, hold that for a minute. Don't smush it because it will distort the really fine text. So yep, there we go. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Now I've got another stamp and I want to stamp that inside here. Now again, I'm going to give this a test drive. Now I put "and Happy New Year." There were 3 separate stamps. I've lined them up. I trust they're in the right place. I don't want this to be too Beautiful. So I want to pop that in this bottom half here. It's going to be hidden. So if I open this all up, which is very weird, but if I open that up and ink this very gently, ink it. I'm really nervous now. And this is going to go between these two. So you can leave those two down, and you want it in this very bottom half here. So I'm going to try and line that up. So I think it's central and I think it's lined up. So it's going to be about there. I'm pretty sure that's looking fairly straight. Straight down, cross your fingers, hold your tongue the right way, and we'll give that a second as well. Beautiful. Oh, you don't know how relieved I am. Okay, I'm going to put the lid on this. Really terrible. I might have to mop that up with some paper towel. Dear, oh dear. Okay, so now we have some bits and pieces here. I'm going to cut this out. I'm just going to use my little mini. Let me put the lid on this water before I actually do knock it over everywhere. Here's my little mini, and I'm going to just line this die up and cut it out. This is the two stamps, the two greetings come from this Greetings of the Season, and the die is from the same die. Now buy it as a bundle and you will get 10% off. Try not to pay full price for everything, okay? So it does cut out a little hole, and it puts this beautiful stitched border all the way around. So I want to just line this up. So just bear with me while I don't know, do my best. It wouldn't be a Jill video if I didn't bugger something up. But anyway, let's try that again. There we go. I'm just going to tape that down, and I'm going to pop that through. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to roll it through and then roll it back. And oh gosh, look at that. How gorgeous. How beautiful is that? Look at that. Perfect. Absolutely gorgeous. So let's put this thing together now. I'm just going to get rid of that because that could be still wet. Just pop another piece of scrap paper down if we need it. Okay, hold on. Hold your horses, honey. Right, so we've got that. Now we are going to pop this onto this piece here. Just like that. I'm really not happy with that background, but that's the best I could do at the moment. So I'm going to glue that on. Now this is embossed, so yeah, just make sure you've got enough adhesive on this to stick it down. Okay, and then we'll assemble the card. It's actually quite quick once you've done all of these little preparatory bits and pieces. So there we go. We've got a really narrow gold little border that I really like. Beautiful. I'm just going to hold that for a second because that is gold foil. So yeah, we'll just leave that for a minute. Now the mechanism is this bit here plus a strip. Now what you want to do is measure your scrap piece and have it only either 1/4 of an inch or 1/2 centimetre wider than this piece. Okay, so I'm just going to pop a pencil mark. Oh look, I can just cut straight. I can just cut it straight. So about 1/2 centimetre or 1/4 inch. I'm just going to trim that off, okay? So now we have this piece. Look at me, I'm covered. Hang on, hold your horses, honey. Let me just get some paper towel and some hand sanitizer, because I don't want this on this after all that I've just ruined. I don't want to ruin it any further. So I'm going to glue this strip onto the back of this tab. Okay, so that is the bit that is going to be standing up. So I want to glue this on the back. Now I need to make sure that I line that up with the edge. It doesn't matter so much if it's not lined up with this score, with this crease, but it has to be lined up with this edge. And you want that overhanging by your 1/4 inch or 1/2 centimetre or thereabouts, okay? So I'm actually going to just pop the glue on here because I think this is just a smidge wider. So yeah, you can put tear and tape on here if you wish, if that's going to be better for you. Hang on, I just want a little piece of scrap paper to sort of smooth this out a bit. There we go. Now I'm just going to pop this on here, okay? Now I need to line it up with the edge and have about 1/4 inch or 1/2 centimetre over, but lining it up to the edge, not the fold, the actual edge. Right. So now we've got this piece here. We've just glued that little strip on the back of that. So if you can imagine that's going to sit like that, we've got this little bit here. And we've just extended the edge by about 1/4 inch or 1/2 centimetre on either side, okay? So you really want that to be stuck. So I'm just going to give that a bit of a burnish with my bone folder, okay? I want that really, really smoothed down. So I'm going to do it from both sides. Now, this is how this works. We are going to pop this down and then we're going to glue these two sides, either side. But we have to make sure that we don't put glue in this very close section here. So what I did was I actually just got a pencil and I just kind of put a little pencil mark. Now if you think you can do that without the pencil mark, that's brilliant, okay? But you might forget. So you don't want it right up to there, you want it just a little bit away from that. This thing has to be able to move smoothly up and down this whole section, okay? Right, okay, so now we need to put some glue on here. We're going to lay this down like that, no glue on this section. We're going to pop our glue or tear and tape, whatever you feel you prefer to use. I'm just going to pop that up to that pencil line and no further, okay? And the same with this one, up to the pencil line and no further, because I did make that pencil line a bit further away so that even if it does ooze out, it's not going to catch that. So now I'm going to fold that down and I'm going to capture that in there. Now at this point in time you want that perfectly lined up because it will give you a little bit of a gap there. And the same with this side. Now you can give that a really nice rub over with your bone folder. And I hope I haven't forgotten anything else because it's been that kind of day. And this is how this mechanism works. It slides up and down and it stays. It stays. Okay. So now we can decorate this. So these two pieces of the gold, I want to pop those down there. So you want to lay it flat now, and you can line that up. You can have an embossed piece if you prefer. This is the point where I'm going to tell you not to put liquid glue on the back of that, but to put some of your seal. Because this has got foil on the front, sometimes that actually shows through. So I'm just going to put some seal. And then line this up. Now it is directional. If you're using a different paper that isn't directional, yeah, don't worry, but this is actually directional, so you just want to make sure of that. There's a little border all the way around, so there we go, like that, just like that. And the other piece on the other side, doing exactly the same thing. If I can work this. Some days this thing's a treasure. Sometimes you really want to bury it. But anyway, there we go. I'm going to line this up and pop that down. Now you do have a bit of time to move that around if you need to before it's fully stuck. Okay, now here's the other piece that we are going to do. We're going to pop this on here like this. And yes, I know it's a bit wider at the bottom, but you won't even notice that when this card is open, okay? So we want to center this up. We want to pop this down here like this. This piece line up just against the fold. Now the only glue that we are putting on is this little rectangle here. Okay, so I'm going to put a bit of liquid glue on because then I can wriggle it around if I need to, assuming I can get it out of the bottle. I don't know what's wrong with this one. It's crazy. Okay, so I've put a bit of liquid glue on there. And now I can center this up this way and that way. So I'm lining it up against the fold. I've kind of lined it up from side to side, and if I need to wriggle it around I can. So I'm just going to leave that for a second while I tend to our greeting. So I want to put some dimensionals on here, but I didn't know what to put on in regard to some twine. Now I've got this one, it's a bit thicker. I bought this at a $2 shop. I have some of this gorgeous, really fine thread. Yeah, I'm not sure which one. I think I'm going to go with the thicker one because otherwise I'll have to use too much of that, you know, and that's just going to be a bit fiddly. Now, I've just already put a knot in that because it does fray. So what I want to do is I want to feed this through from the back, and I'm going to cut that off there. I'm actually going to put another knot in this side here. I mean, I may well have to trim this down, but it doesn't matter. It will just stop it from fraying everywhere while I'm dealing with it, or will it? Who knows? Oh my goodness. Right, there we go. So now I want to feed both of these through this loop that I've just created, okay? So yeah, that's way too long. So what I can do is I can trim this down now. What I'll do is I'll tie a knot first. Just tie a knot there. And see if that is going to be a decent length. And tie a knot in this one here. Sounds like the kids are playing outside next door. There we go. Now, you don't have to put them in the same spot, okay? You can have them at different lengths, different heights. I'm going to snip these off at different levels, and then they will fray and they will look really, really cool. So I can start to unwind that. That's going to go on there like that. Now, if you want to put a little drop of glue or whatever, right on the back of there, a glue dot would probably suffice. So just bear with me while I get a glue dot. So I'm just going to pop a glue dot. I think I'll make it smaller. So I'm just going to get my take your pick, and I'm just going to roll this round on itself. I don't know if you can see that, but there you go. I'm just going to pop that on there like that. Okay. Now that's going to stop that from coming undone. Now I'm going to pop a couple of dimensionals on the bottom part of this. Okay. So one there, possibly one there, and maybe one there. Now I'm going to take those off. I'm going to pop a bit of glue here, and my little glue dot is going to help to keep my my thread from coming undone. So I'm going to pop that on there like that, just like that. Look at that. How cute is that? Now I got these out as well. I got some of these out. These are the blooming pearls, I think. I think that's what they're called. There's some like pretty peacock, pink, green, and these little gold ones. I thought maybe I might put a pretty peacock one there, because the two colours kind of look like pretty peacock, don't you think? So let's pop a little one down here. And do we want two little ones or do we want a big one? I think we want a big one. Oops. Oh my goodness. Now it's piggybacked. It's piggybacked. There we go. Look at that. Oh my goodness. I hate putting those on. I mean, I love them. But the pressure. Now let's have a look at this. Let me just get all this stuff out of the way, and we'll have a look at this beautiful card. So when they open it, it will come like that. Now you could put another little piece of this gold paper on there if that bothers you. It will just slide up like that. There is your little reveal of a message. You can put whatever you like. It will stay up by itself. Okay, so that's what it looks like from the top. Let me see if I got that right. So that's what it looks like when it stands up. Okay, and when it closes, you just slide that down like that, and it fits into a normal envelope. Shame about that, but at the end of the day, that actually looks really cool. If you ask me. It looks like there could be a wind blowing. There's some spattering of the gold, and then you just pop that up and you've got your other message here. Now, if you want to write something on that, you have the whole back. You can put a piece of white, basic white panel there. That would just be matte 1. That would fill that whole thing up. You could do some extra stamping on that if you wanted to, but this is the card that we're making tonight. I'm calling it the Brilliant Christmas Slider Mantelpiece card, because you would sit that on the mantelpiece and that is part of your Christmas decorations. Wow, let me know what you think. Ugh. Be kind about that big blooper in the middle, okay? But yeah, we did a few things. All the details will be below, and yeah, thumbs up please. And if you want to subscribe or share this with your friends, please go right ahead, and you can contact me there if you want to purchase anything and you are in Australia. JillLancet.stampinup.net. We have a fantastic joining fee at the moment. It ends on Halloween. We also have some fantastic deals on close to my heart products. They are all 30% off, and kits are up to 30% off. So go and have a look at them there. You'll see them all there. And please let me know what you think about this card. Would you do it in those colours, or would you do it in a different colour? Let me know. I'm really interested. Okay, thanks so much. Please be kind, and hooray, and I'll see you all. Bye.